Good day, this is Matt Fox from FrictionFreeSales.com, and this is the second video in using ActiveCampaign to deliver all your lead magnets with one form, one automation to save you a ton of time and make your life super duper easy. This is a really cool setup. I love doing this. I think this is really fancy. I'm pretty proud of myself, if I do say so. And Chris Davis over at ActiveCampaign really was impressed with this and wanted me to show you this. So that's the whole reason why I'm doing this, just to make Chris happy. So, and hopefully give you a few ideas here. Of course, want to help you guys out too. So let's do the second part here. The second part. So we just set up the form and the two custom fields. Now we're going to set up the automation that delivers the lead magnet. And by doing that, we're going to cruise on over to our automations section here. And so this is my automation right here. It's this one right here. It's the asset delivery. I'm going to open that up in a new tab here. And this is the automation. It's really this simple. It is one email, and you use it to deliver the assets. And I'll walk you through the process of setting it up. So you can click on New Automation. And over here in the marketplace, so the ActiveCampaign marketplace has all these nice little automations that nice folks like myself have built and submitted, and they have accepted to give you access to them. And so mine is called, if you would just do search, content upgrades, asset delivery. Probably asset is the easiest one. Asset. There you go. Lead magnet delivery. Of course, it's the first one for me because it says I purchased it. It's free. You don't have to actually buy anything. I give it to you for free. And so we will create this asset delivery automation. And so, of course, you're going to walk you through the wizard here. And so say, get started. So let's get started. Select any form, and we will do the test form that we just did. So if we submit the test form, the authors note this automation is triggered from a form submission. Yes, it is. Next. Change the email. So who do we want the email to come from? There we go. And you can change that to your email. Click next, and boom, there you go. There we go. So now you can go over to your email, click edit. This is the email that I have included in here. And you just need to make a couple of tweaks. Well, you can change it to however you want, but this is the email that I have already created for you. And we're going to have to change a couple items. One is you're going to have to change this little lead magnet name here. And you're going to want to use the personalization tags that you used in the form or in the custom field personalization tag that we created for the lead magnet name here. And then, we're also going to need the lead magnet URL personalization tag. So let's go back to the custom fields here. Cruise on over to the custom fields. And here we go. So this is the name of lead magnet that we have from the form. And here is the personalization tag, name of lead magnet with little parentheses signs on either side. And so I'm going to take that and put that here in this name of lead magnet section. Whoops. Good. I'm gonna actually do some fancy formatting here. Watch this. Ready? Boom. It's going to be italics now. Isn't that exciting? Okay. So, and this personalization tag, what it'll do is it'll take, you can download the name of lead magnet here, and what it will do is it will replace this section here between the little percentage symbols with the value of the custom field that we just created on that form. And in the next video, I'll show you how to change that so that way when the form submits, you get the proper value that shows up here, which would be the name of your lead magnet here. The other one here is the button that we use to click to download. And over here in the link section is, whoops, I don't know what just happened there. I scrolled my mouse off the screen. So we need to put a link, but instead of putting the link, the URL that we want to redirect to, because if you're using multiple lead magnets, you're probably going to have multiple download pages. At least I did when I was doing this for the Fail to Learn site, and now that I'm starting to implement this on the frictionfreesales.com site, you're going to have multiple download pages as opposed to just one download page for one lead magnet. And so it's hard. You have to create a new automation each time. And like I said, the whole purpose of this is to save it so you don't have to create a new automation, new forms, and all that other BS. So we're going to take the download URL that we're putting in that custom field called download URL. And I'm going to copy that. And then we're going to put that over here in the link field. Boom, just like that. Okay, so we've got the little parentheses, and make sure you have the parentheses on either end, and the actual the customization personalization tag that's over here. Okay, and that's it. So this email now will deliver to the person when they subscribe. This, just like it says here, they'll have the link and the thing there, and bam. And I'm not going to change anything else here. Because I've got it all set up already, and when I show you the demo, it'll work just swimmingly already. But you can go ahead and finish up changing your from and other information and tracking information, opens and closes and things like that. I'll show you also a couple of other little things here that I've done. Let me click back over to the automations and go to my new subscriber automations. All right, so here are my new subscriber automations, and what happens is when someone submits the form, it actually runs multiple automations, but this is the main automation that is triggered. And so with the automation that we just created, that it was triggered based off of the form submission. Well, that's the same thing here, that this automation is triggered off the form submission. And what it does is it's going to launch, first off, it's going to add a couple of tags here. So it adds that one is it's running this automation. So this is my tag. I use tags to show that an automation, someone is currently in an automation. So when they start the automation, it says add tag auto, which means automation for me. And then the name or the code word for whatever this automation is that's being run. And then at the end of the automation, as you see down here, boom, it removes that automation tag. Okay, so as long as this automation is running, they're in it, or the tag is showing on the contacts information. Then it's also going to add the tag that they're subscribed to Friction Free Sales. And then it runs the other automations that I want to be running, or I want to run when someone subscribes. So the first thing that it does is it runs my asset delivery automation. So we just set it up. The way it's set up from the marketplace is that you have, I'm going to open this up in a new tab here because this is my asset delivery automation that I use now, but I don't have a start trigger. And the start trigger actually comes from this primary automation that is started when they submit the form. So they submit the form, it starts this automation. See, and the reason why I'm showing you this, by the way, let me step back for a second. I get all excited about this stuff because it's really cool and really, it's really amazing what you can do with this. It really is amazing what you can do with all this. A lot of people, when they first get into it, they get stuck because they think that everything has to be wrapped up into one automation. And that is the wrong way to be thinking about this at all. I'm not saying that you want to be using as many automations as possible, but so I have one automation and it's kind of like the core of everything, and it triggers everything else that needs to be done and everything else that needs to be run from there. And so I could have these three automations. There's the asset delivery, there's my new subscriber series of emails, and this and how it tags the person based on what lead magnet they requested. And so the my brain just went blank for a second there. So instead of having all these triggered based off the form submission, I only have one automation triggered off the form submission. And as you'll see here, my new subscriber series is this automation here. And the other one was the tag for lead magnet. And all three of these don't have a start trigger. Okay. The start trigger is this automation right here, the main automation after they submit the form. So we go through, we add a couple of tags, we start these three other automations, and just bing, bing, bing. It takes milliseconds for these things to start. And then I have a check in place because I have an engagement series. When someone opens an email or this engagement series is only for people who are subscribed to my lists. And if you are subscribed, or when you are subscribed, or after you subscribe, and you open an email or you click a link in the email, the system will tag you as engaged, as you see here. I'll open it up here. This is the tag that will be applied. Engaged, yes. And so every time you open an email, every time you click a link in an email, it says that you are engaged. Within the last 30 days, you have opened an email or clicked a link in one of my emails. And so if they are engaged, yes, that means they're already subscribed to my list. And because people will resubscribe. So if you have multiple downloads on your site, you can have multiple people subscribing, or you can have one person subscribing multiple times to your site. Well, if they're already subscribed, I want this to stop. Boom. I don't need to run through the rest of this because they're engaged. They're clicking links in my emails. They're already engaged. They're already subscribed. But if it's a new subscriber, this engaged yes tag would not have been applied. And so what it does then is it will go down this chain and it'll start the engagement tracking automation that I have that everybody else has already run through because they're already subscribed. And now this person subscribed, so they're going to run through the engagement tracking. And what that does is it gives them an engagement. It automatically tags them as engaged yes. And then after 30 days, and that is actually two different automations. So it runs engagement tracking 1. Engagement tracking 1 adds the engagement track that they are engaged. It adds the tag that they are engaged. And then it starts engagement tracking 2, which waits 30 days. And if the person doesn't click a link or open any emails for 30 days, then it'll remove the tag after 30 days to no, and say that they're not engaged. It'll change the tag from to engaged no, as you see down here. So right down here. So it'll do that tag there. And if they are engaged no, so what it does here is this runs this engagement tracking. I'll show you the automations here. Bear with me. Boom. So 1, 2. Okay. So engagement tracking 1. They open a link or click an email. It exits engagement tracking 2 if the person was already in it. And then it starts this automation here. So that we're going to have it as we're going to remove any engaged no tags because they're now engaged. They opened an email or they clicked a link in an email. We're going to add the tag engaged yes. And if they are on one of my lists, in case for some reason they have not been engaged for more than 30 days, they would be removed from one of these subscription tags. And so we're going to add the subscription tag back on so they will start receiving emails from me again. Okay. And then it ends this automation and it starts the second automation for the engagement tracking and ends this automation. This automation runs real quickly and just adds a couple of tags and that's it. In the engagement tracking, yes, then it'll check is someone engaged, or it'll add the tag if they're engaged again in case the first one missed it for some crazy reason. And then it waits for 30 days. And so I've got 45 people who haven't opened an email, or in the last 45 days who haven't opened an email or clicked a link, it looks like. That's a small amount for some reason. And then after 30 days, it will say whether or not, if they haven't clicked any link and if they haven't opened an email, it will remove this engaged tag. It'll remove the yes that they are engaged and add the tag no. That is a really small amount. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. I know it works, but that just seems like that number just seems really small to me. But so we'll remove the engaged yes, and we will add the tag engaged no. Okay. And from there, we'll end the automation. So they will no longer be engaged. They will no longer be receiving emails from me. Okay. Sorry about that. Had a little thing pop up on the screen. So that's what the engagement tracking automations do. Okay. And so what this automation does, remember I said it was a single double opt-in. So it's a single opt-in, meaning that they don't get a confirmation email before they're actually subscribed. So they're subscribed the moment they click the form. But for 30 days, they're going to be in this engagement tracking series. We're going to wait for 31 days. After 30 days, if they haven't clicked a link and if they haven't opened an email, then they're going to have the engage no tag, which means that we will remove them as a subscriber from friction-free sales. We'll remove the tag that keeps them in the segment that I email to. If they don't have the no tag and they have the yes tag, then we will remove the tag that for this automation that's running, and we're going to just end this automation. They're a subscriber, so they have, by default, after 31 days, they are a subscriber because they're engaged. They've opened an email or clicked an email within the last 30 days, or within 30 days of subscribing. Okay, and now these other emails that get or these other automations that get started. So there's the asset delivery, which I had mentioned before, which we just set up. Okay, from the marketplace. It starts it from here. And then there's my new subscriber series, which is this series of emails that sells my stuff, sells my book. And then there's the lead tag or tag. Then there's the tag automation. And this tagging automation, basically all it does is based off of the name of the lead magnet that they were requesting, it will add a tag that they are downloading or that they requested that lead magnet. So the one on resistance, there's one on language, there's one on questions, and then there's 3 ways to grow business, and then marketing automation, which will be the opt-in at the bottom of the page that this video is embedded in. I'm going to give you these 2 lead magnets here if you decide to subscribe on this page through the form at the bottom of this page here. So there's the 3 ways to grow your business, because there are 3 ways to grow your business, and most people are missing at least one of them. And there's an exponential calculator that's included in this that shows you how just making small tweaks in each one of these areas exponentially increases your growth, your profit potential. Not potential, it will increase if you do little small tweaks in each one. It's not an A plus B plus C, it's A times B times C. It's really cool. And then the marketing automation. So I've got a cheat sheet that you can download also, which shows it's a little worksheet so how I think through the automation process that you see here. It may seem complicated, but when you put it on a piece of paper, with the cheat sheet that I have in there, it's actually a spreadsheet, a Google Docs spreadsheet. You just do if this, then this, if this, then this, and it'll allow you everything that you need to do to set up the different automations. It's really cool, really, really cool. Okay, so that's what this automation is for. It's the main automation, and triggered off the submitting of the form. So that's all you need to do. If you don't want to go through all this with all the multiple automations and things like that, you can just use that one form, or the asset delivery automation that we set up through the marketplace, and you're good to go. That's all you need to deliver that lead magnet. You can use another automation that starts based off of you can have multiple automations that start based off of the submission of your form. Doesn't have to be just this asset delivery. Doesn't have to be just this one automation like I do that starts a bunch of other ones. I could have had all 3 or 4 of these starting based off of the submission of the form, but this is the way I like to do it. So cool. Hope this was helpful, and nice little insight into how to design some of these automations. And you can and stay tuned, because the next video actually we are going to talk about. So in the next video, part 3 of this is we are going to look at how to integrate this with your site and what you need to tweak on the form code that you're going to need, and how you're going to do it so that it properly submits the information into the custom fields, so that way it's delivering the lead magnet for you and will probably fill out the forms in this asset delivery email.